I think that if I had to pick a species from Star Wars to call my favorite, it would be a strong battle between the Wookiees of Kashyyyk and the Zebraks of Dathomir. Both have a certain aura surrounding them, oozing with intimidation and power. Whilst we've seen enough of the Zebraks' capabilities in both canon and legends, we haven't at all seen much from our dear giant bear friends. Acolyte introduces us to the first established Wookiee Jedi on screen. Yes, we've had Padawan turned Order 66 survivors, but we've never have anyone as high ranking as our boy Kelnacca. While I am sad that he didn't do all that much, it did get me thinking of all the other Wookiees we've seen so far. Today, I'd like to talk about our furry space monks a bit more, especially 5 of them. 5 of them that stood out a little bit and that I could find the most information about. I'll be swapping from canon to legends again, and just, have a little bit of a talk about them with you. It'll be a little bit of a shorter video, as there aren't that many Wookiees, especially not in the Jedi Order, but I'll hope you enjoy it nonetheless. Welcome to the Elden Nexus, a place where the spark of fiction converge. If you're new here, I try to make bi-weekly lore videos going into various works of fiction, be it movies, books, and games. If that sounds like it would be your thing, be sure to comment your suggestions on what lore I should cover and subscribe for the future, it really helps me out. And before we begin, I'd like to mention I have opened a Discord server, so feel free to click the link in the description to come and say hi. Now, enough with the formalities, grab your death sticks and let's get into it. First up, let's talk about Gungi, everyone's favorite Wookiee, no doubt. You might remember him from the Clone Wars series. Gungi is a young Wookiee Padawan who trained under Jedi Master Terra Sinube. This little guy stood out during the Gathering, an event where younglings find their chiral crystals on Ilum to construct their first lightsabers. Gungi's journey was particularly memorable because of his patience and perseverance, key traits for the Jedi. Gungi wielded a green lightsaber and showed great potential as a Jedi. His story, though, a little short, left a big impact on fans. Seeing a Wookiee Jedi as a Padawan who was a kind of refreshing and exciting addition to the Star Wars universe. His lightsaber hilt was also, objectively speaking, the coolest design ever.
Yo, Baba, how's the food tasting?
Oh, this stuff is bussin'. Respectfully, no kizzy.
Oh, what about you, Abuji?
The wood paired with the green really gave the forest vibes Gungi was no doubt going for, symbolizing a tree with albeit plasma-infused leaves that can cut through steel. Later in the timeline, we see him again on Kashyyyk after Order 66, when the Bad Batch and especially Omega make connections with the Wookiee people. He seems grown, more mature and wiser in his years, even though he's still very young. Later on in the episode, he goes off and faces against hordes of stormtroopers when a nearby clan needs him. Going into Legends now, we have Tyvokka, a Wookiee Jedi Master from the Star Wars Jedi Council Acts of War comic series. Tyvokka was known for his wisdom and strength, both in the Force and battle. He served on the Jedi Council and played a crucial role during the Stark Hyperspace War. Tyvokka's lightsaber skills were impressive, and he had a unique lightsaber with wooden hilt, again much like Gungi, which paid homage to his Wookiee heritage. Tragically, Tyvokka met his end during the Stark Hyperspace War, but not before ensuring that his Padawan, Plo Koon, would continue his legacy, his sacrifice and bravery cementing his place as a legendary Jedi. Of course, this is Legends, so no idea what they'll do with this later on, if they'll ever use it, but it's cool nonetheless. Now recently we've been introduced to Kelnacca. Kelnacca hails from the lush forest of Kashyyyk, the Wookiee homeworld of course. His journey in becoming a Jedi was not an easy one, From a young age, Kelnacca showed a strong connection to the Force, which got the attention of Jedi Masters visiting Kashyyyk. Recognizing his potential, Kelnacca was taken to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant to begin his training, much like, well, all the other younglings. Kelnacca's training was rigorous. As a Wookiee, he faced unique challenges, but his determination and resilience allowed him to excel. His Jedi training emphasized not only combat skills, but also the importance of compassion, wisdom, and self-discipline. Kelnacca's ability to connect deeply with the Force set him apart from many of his peers. As a Wookiee, these skills kind of go against his nature. He's supposed to be this big monster, this scary thing. But yet the Jedi forced him, or well, taught him to accept the importance of the softer skills, like the compassion, wisdom, and self-discipline. In The Acolyte, Kelnacca plays a crucial role as both mentor and protector. His wisdom and experience are invaluable to younger Jedi, and his combat skills making a formidable opponent to any threat. Kelnacca is shown tinkering away at engines, showing interests beyond Jedi norms. It saddens me that we didn't get to see more of him, as I love to see Wookiee Jedis doing their thing. Imagine trying to block a swing from a literal man-bear. I doubt that a lot of people could do that. Kelnacca's unique traits make him stand out among the Jedi. His lightsaber is a striking green, symbolizing his connection to the Force, and his role as a peacekeeper, if you still believe that the color means anything, of course. But unlike many Jedis, Kelnacca's combat style incorporates his Wookiee strength and agility, making his fighting techniques both powerful and graceful. Additionally, Kelnacca has a unique ability to sense and communicate with other species. This skill might come from his, more nature roots, as no doubt you've noticed by now, he is a man-bear who can rip off your arms at a moment's notice.
Moving on to Kirlocca, another notable Wookiee Jedi. Kirlocca appears in various Star Wars legend stories, but he's also canon thanks to his mention in Star Wars Absolutely Everything You Need to Know. Kirlocca served as a Jedi general during the Clone Wars, leading clone troopers into battle. He was known for his incredible combat skills and his ability to maintain peace and order. Kirlocca's presence on the battlefield was formidable, combining the physical strength of a Wookiee with the prowess of a Jedi. While his appearances are less frequent, his impact is still significant among the lore of the Jedi Wookiees. Now, it is not clear what of his story is legend and canon, so I wanted to place it in legends just to be sure that I don't get anything wrong.
And last but not least, let's talk about Burryaga, Agaburi, from the High Republic era. Burryaga is featured in several High Republic novels, including Light of the Jedi. He's a young Wookiee Padawan with deep empathy and strong connection to the Force, which makes him exceptionally skilled at sensing emotions of others. Burryaga's lightsaber is unique, featuring a crossguard hilt. His gentle nature and keen insight often helps his fellow Jedi during their missions. Burryaga represents the High Republic's ideals of unity and exploration, showcasing the diversity and depths of the Jedi Order during this golden age. Master Kitmum was perhaps the best the Jedi had to offer, embodying both the wisdom and physical attributes of a true Jedi. She stood out with her teachings, inspiring many of us, even in the real world, to work on ourselves and better our impact on everyone around us. She was also very good at football. You will be missed, Master Kitmum. I think by now that it is no secret that I love Wookiees, our big furry looking man beasts, and how they'll really screw you up if you look at them in the wrong way. To have established their furiosity in Chewbacca in the original trilogy, we can get a sense of him and his people. Angry, big-mouthed, yet loyal as hell. In the prequels, we see less of the Wookiees. We see them a little as we are introduced to Kashyyyk and how they interact with Yoda. But in the many Star Wars spin-offs, we slowly learn more. We look beyond Wookiee equals monster thing, and we see their connection to nature. Their almost druid-like society. To then turn around and have them be Jedi is arguably the most dangerous of the species of the original trilogy. It's just a match made in heaven in my mind. It's incredible to see how all these Wookiees have some respect to their roots. They either shape their lightsaber to resemble their values, their home, or they end up stationed on the very planet that they hail from. If you are currently writing lore, be it for a game, a book, or even Dungeons and Dragons, consider adding a character or a people that has the ferocity to kill and can lay waste to armies or cities, but they actively choose not to, actively making a decision to go against their nature as brutes and choose a path of enlightenment. Of course, this can be monks, priests, or all the other stereotypical walks of life, but don't limit yourselves. Whatever you end up doing, it'll be great, and I can't wait to see your version of a once fearless Wookiee now turned simple baker, where he connects back to his culture by making Kashyyyk-like pastries. You could also go the full other way, with a Wookiee, you know, being more peaceful than his folk around them. Maybe he got raised by a sort of shaman in his hometown and he is naturally more aligned to peace. But then when he gets enrolled into the Jedi Academy and becomes youngling, becomes Padawan, becomes knight, he starts to see the, you know, the cracks in the system, the lies that the Jedi are telling him. And maybe he snaps, much like Anakin almost, like they put so much pressure on this little peaceful Wookiee that he just reverts back to what he saw his elders doing and just becomes the monster or becomes the brute eventually. I think that could also be cool. If you're, like I said, if you're currently writing lore, I think it's a very nice sort of character to have, is this duality almost that is playing in their hearts, this sort of violence versus peace argument, this almost morality that this character could hold and could have in your stories. I think it'll be, yeah, I think it'll be very cool to see what you guys can come up with and I'm very much down to see everything that you come up with. I love fiction and I want to see more of it. That will be it for today, folks. Thank you for sticking around to the very end, and I want to remind you all of the Discord server I linked in the description. I hope you all enjoyed your death sticks, and have a good night and or day.